You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Oh
I'm Snapchatting Bernsey right now.
oh God, he's gonna want to watch this. I'm just hoping the audio comes out pretty good. It
Yeah, me
should.
too, man. I want it to be good.
It should. If not, it'll be alright. Yeah. Every time I come here, I gotta freaking like re look at it and be like, all right, because the last show I did it was with this girl named Gentry, and it was the audio was bad. I couldn't even hear her, and I was like, God damn it. I was like, what happened? And I looked, and I was like, dang it. So like, look, I was hoping that I think here I'm gonna turn that couch around. I'm gonna get somebody to monitor this for me,
Oh, okay,
just
yeah.
like what I was doing, but they'd have to be like, all right,
Hmm?
yeah, man.
I ran into this Chinese guy with no teeth, over on like building 3 or whatever, and he was
Did you?
smoking, and I was like, "Hey, man, where's apartment 125?" And he's like, I don't know, but he was just smoking. He like had one shoe on, and he was like totally out of it. So you might ask him to do it. He might be willing to do it. Seems like he has some free time.
I didn't even know that. You know, I don't know. I don't have no name. I just talked to that neighbor here and there, the one that's
Oh,
right
yeah.
there. I didn't know that. I was just worried you're gonna pop up and knock on someone else's door.
I don't know.
What's
I
up?
was
That's what
I was
worried
reading
about.
numbers for sure. Yeah.
Yeah, that's good, man. So how you been?
Good.
How
Are
you
we
been?
starting?
Yeah, we're starting.
When?
Like, right as soon as the apartment thing.
Oh, damn.
You
Okay.
good? You good?
No, right on, right on.
Hey, just wanted to present everyone, man. This is Noah Liao. He's I used to work with him a long
Mhm.
time ago. Yeah,
Yeah.
so that's your camera. And this is
Right
gonna be my camera. You know what I mean?
Cool.
So whatever this shows right here,
Mhm.
that's you. That right there is pointing at that, and then that one's
Alright.
gonna point at me.
Good deal.
They're on because the recording is on. So this is what we're going with. Like I said, hopefully I'll get somebody to get here. But yeah, dude, how you been?
I've been good, dude. Definitely through the ups and downs, and right now I'm just writing, like straight up right now. Pretty consistent.
Dog, you're still working at the hospital, right?
Yeah, I'm working at a hospital, but I pretty much hate it.
Yeah.
But it's a good job. But I mean, it's just not for me, man. Being in the office all day.
Oh, you're in the office. I
Yeah.
thought you were like maintenance or something.
Nah, dude, that might have had a chance there, but there's only like 3 maintenance guys
Really?
for the whole hospital. Yeah, so it's a pretty tough like position to get into.
You don't know what? Fun fact, dude. I've always wanted to work at a hospital.
Yeah.
I've always wanted to work at one. Since I was like 19, 18. I've always wanted to. It's
Really?
just that at the time it was hard to get in, so I just couldn't, and I just kind of gave up on it. I wanted to pursue a career in like somewhere in the medical field,
Mhm.
because I remember we were doing CPR classes in high school,
Yeah.
and then the lady was like, "Hey, would you consider looking in the medical field?" And I was like, "Yeah, dude, I'm down." But I don't know, man. It just when I was young, like younger, like 19, 20, you don't know what you're doing. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So after that, I just kind of gave up on it and kind of pursued other stuff. And then, well, fun fact, now I'm going back to school in the fall.
Oh, really?
So yeah, so I'm gonna get like target some basics and maybe retake some classes, but I'm gonna get back in there for sure. And
That's
had
good, man.
dude, I had an opportunity to work out there in over here, this hospital out here.
Mhm.
I was about to, but you know, time's a little tough right now. You know what I mean? Like
Well, yeah, I
money.
mean,
I'm
money
like,
talks,
"God
yeah."
dang." I'm like, "Mom, I gotta pay all this. Gotta pay this now." And I'm like, but it's all good. I'll get there. That's the goal right now. But
Yeah.
right now, the goal is to work as much as I can. So that job,
Yeah.
where you used to work, where I work now,
Yeah.
I'm hoping, and they're hoping I get some more hours. They are right now.
Yeah.
You kind of know the situation.
Yeah.
But yeah, dude. Hey,
Times are tough.
so remember? Okay, and again, I won't say the full name. Domingo. Remember Domingo? You know what
Yeah.
you know what he told me?
What do you
Well,
think?
it's because Julian was telling him that, hey, Brian's starting a podcast,
Oh, yeah.
and then he told Julian he told Julian no okay, Julian told Domingo, like,
Mhm.
Domingo, hey, Brian's starting a podcast, and then Domingo was like, oh really? What is it called? Brian's Bitches. And I said this. I was like, yeah, Domingo, you want to join?
Yeah, I bet he would be
And then
first in line right there.
Julian, it was just funny, man.
Domingo is how I would describe. Is it okay to curse? Can we curse?
You good, man? Go
Can we
ahead.
curse?
Yeah.
Okay, Domingo is a guy I could describe perfectly as a tall stack of bitch. That's as best I could describe him.
Oh, poor guy. That dude, I've never had any problems with him. All I know is that he always had a solid crew. Whenever I was there, when I was working that place, he always had a solid crew. Always. You
Yeah.
and all of y'all. And then like whenever I went back, he still had a solid crew.
Yeah.
It's just that they had kind of quit and stuff, so now but the crew he's got now, it's to me, he's always got a good crew. He's always trained them to be like, damn.
I tell you what, man, that 2018 crew, the way it started out, like when I started on it,
Yeah.
was like nothing short of a dream team, man.
Yeah, dude.
If we could have just stayed like that with those same people and not changed, like cruise or anything,
Yeah.
I would probably still work there.
Yeah.
And like I doubt there'd be like half as many problems. Even in just my life alone, there would be half as many problems if we just stayed like that. Would have been good.
Yeah. No, it's cool, dude. I miss. Yeah, it's cool though. I ain't gonna say. I don't have nothing bad to say, especially about him. But yeah, dude. Every time I bring you up, 'cause, dude, we still bring you up at that old job
Yeah.
where we used to work. We still bring you up, Julian.
That's
To this
crazy.
day, me and Noah did this. We and Mo. I'm
Yeah.
like, Jesus, dude. I mean, and I'm over here like, let it go, bro. But
No, don't ever let it go. Hold on to it forever.
and
bro.
then like
Don't
same
do
thing,
it.
Domingo and be like, hey, yeah, look, here's a photo of Noah back then and sexy, and I'm like, golly, y'all. They made it seem like even though you don't work there no more, you're still
Yeah.
there. You're there in spirit.
Yeah, I like to try to keep in touch with some guys that I can, but even my phone, dude, I never got rid of like my like old work pictures. I never got rid of them. They're still all in there, all of them. Even from like where we had like really disgusting, like super, just atrocious like Photoshop wars.
Yeah. Oh yeah.
Man, like those pictures are just in there. Like anybody could go through my phone and see like a bunch of dicks and just everywhere, like all over my phone.
You know that guy that we were talking about, that the one that, hey, you don't want to say his phone, you don't want to say his name.
Yeah, he has a really
Specific
name.
Specific name, dude.
Yeah.
That fool, he showed me. He got his phone. He showed me a woman in an airplane, right?
Mm-hmm.
He showed me and shit, like on top, like took off her topless, and I'm like, oh, okay, normal. And then I don't know, or whips it out, and I was like,
Oh yeah, dude,
God.
those like surprise
God, I don't know
trans
yeah, and I was like,
women
my God.
videos.
I was just like, God damn, Fifi. And he just laughed, and I was like, I ain't never gonna see any videos again. Everything he shows, I'm like, I'm good.
So like every now and again on holidays, on most major holidays, he'll send me some kind of like super insane meme, like with like for Thanksgiving. It was some chick that was like folded up like a turkey, completely naked, with like I think there was something in her ass or something like. But every major holiday, there's something like that. Every other week, there's like
Something.
some link that says,
You know, I thought y'all were nasty, bro. Everywhere I work, there's a group of guys that send each other stuff like that.
yeah,
I'm like, bro, like my
really is.
brothers would try to send. I'm like, dude, I don't want to see that, dude.
Yeah.
I don't know how y'all. I don't know. I try to like kind of. There's some I've seen, and I'm like, dude, what? Like, I just like, how do I put it, man? You just, I guess PTSD. You know
yeah,
what I'm
I
saying?
can kind of I can
I'm
see
like,
that,
dude, y'all are nasty, bro. All
Makes
y'all that
sense.
do that to each other. God, like, you know what's funny about that though, Noah? Okay, not that part, but like the job we used to work at when
Yeah.
I went back. Since you weren't there, I remember how one of the guys that was training me dropped the bottle cap. He just dropped it, and then I just like flashbacks. When I did that,
Yeah, oh.
you would get ready. You would sit there, or if you heard it from a distance, you'd like kind of look and watch. And then as soon as I like pick up that bottle cap, you would run towards me. And
Yeah,
I'm like, no, you know. So every time the first time that new guy was training me, that bottle cap fell.
Mhm.
And first thing in my mind was just like flashbacks. You know what I'm saying? No.
Yeah.
And I was like, oh no.
You were like having an episode almost.
yeah. I'm like, hey, I need to sit down.
Yeah, for real. That is too funny, man. Because like, I think of stuff like that now, where I work at the hospital and I work in a hallway.
Okay.
Just a bunch. There's nothing but offices like in this hallway, and it's just women. I'm the only
The guy?
man
Oh,
but in this hallway, and then it's like this whole building, right?
Mhm.
And I'm really the only man in like the building
Yeah.
where I'm at.
Okay.
So like, I constantly have to resist my fucking diabolical urges to just play jokes on these fucking women. man. Like I
that's
can't.
right.
I have to watch what I say.
I know. Yeah.
I gotta watch what I do. Like they say stuff, the things that come out of their mouth, and I just have to like hold my. I have to hold my face.
You
and
can't say nothing nasty. You're
I
like
clench
you're
my
like,
fist.
"Oh."
I want to give it to them like right in the fucking face, man. Just all the stuff they say and stuff they do. They drop stuff, and I'm like, if they drop this, and I run up there, I'm gonna be fired for sure.
That's how guys are. I don't know why, especially in a work environment like Julian. I'll be like, yeah, bro, it was that big. Oh, really? Do it
Yeah.
again. I'm like, God dang, Julian. Okay. Do you remember? I won't say his name, but that big guy that used to work with us, real big.
Mhm.
And then I told him, I was like, hey, does that dude, is he still pretty big? And then, Julian, Julian was like, it depends where. And I was like, God, dude.
Oh my gosh, man. You know what's funny is just like what like we started talking about doing the podcast.
Yeah.
Like me coming on, I had found a video of you cleaning up like the foam, the caustic foam mess,
Oh yeah.
and Julian was like on you, like just humping you from the back while you were trying to work.
Oh my gosh, dude.
Yeah, I'll find that for you after.
Dude, I have a bunch of videos of you and Julian. Just know that right now.
Yeah.
Just fighting the knife.
It's
Oh.
it's probably pretty good. I'm not like kind of into politics or anything because all the videos and stuff that just the people at that place have of me is already
Oh.
it's enough to cancel me for sure.
Oh yeah, for sure, man. All those. Oh gosh, dude. So if y'all, ladies, if you're wondering what guys do at work environments, every single work environment full of guys, they
It's
just
probably just like about the gayest stuff possible.
Straight
Like
up, bro. That's how it is.
you
Hey,
could probably go to a gay bar and find like less gay activities than at just a straight hetero workplace. Honestly,
oh my gosh, man. Yeah, good times, man. I'm so
yeah, no
glad.
doubt.
It's good to see you here, man.
No kidding, man.
Usually I have a co-host, man. His name is Michael, but he's not here. He's on a business trip, so
Oh, okay.
I think I'm gonna try. I get him on here every now and then.
Yeah, right
But
on,
yeah.
man.
Yeah, he's funny too. But yeah, man. So what kind of conspiracies you got, dude?
Conspiracies? Oh, dude, I'm all about the like.
Bro, what do you believe in though? Cause I believe in. Okay, I don't. There's all kinds, bro. But like, I do believe in like dreams. I
Mhm.
believe in like dreams that, like, if I had a dream and then I'm at a different world, that's me in either the future or that did happen. You know what I mean?
Mhm.
I believe that. I kind of feel like that exists or something. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Because like people will be like, "Oh, your dreams they mean something," but like I'm over here, freaking flying and to Jupiter or
Mhm.
something. I'm like, there's a cat there, and I'm like, okay, well, what's the meaning? You know what I mean?
Yeah, but there's like I don't know if you ever look up your dreams. You ever look up your dreams like if you Google them?
No, I haven't.
There's like
Actually.
a lot of deep and like realistic meanings for a lot of your dreams.
Really,
Hmm.
I never thought of that. So like, what would you say that?
So like one, I'll give you like a really good example, the best one I could think of since we're talking about this. And I hope the movie's right. I think it's called Heat.
He,
Have you ever seen the movie Heat?
nah.
Okay, well it's got Robert De Niro. He's like the main character, and he's like some kind of like heist. He's like a heist guy,
Mhm.
right?
Okay.
There's probably people that know it better than me, whatever
yeah.
you call it, but he's in a back and forth, as in like with okay, here's a better example. Have you seen Den of Thieves?
No,
You've never seen Den of Thieves? Okay,
No.
where it's like a back and forth between like a detective, a cop who knows who the bad guy is. He knows Robert De Niro's a bad guy, but he's got to catch him, like doing the heist and
Okay.
stealing stuff. He's got to catch him. So they get into a conversation at a diner. They sit down and talk, and he's like, I have this reoccurring dream where I'm drowning and like I'm trying to like swim, but I can't.
Yeah.
And it's Al Pacino who's the cop. Al Pacino's telling him, you know what that dream means, right? And he says, yes, it's about running out of time.
Uh-huh.
He's like, I don't have enough time. So what he's saying is he's like a bank robber, and he wants to like do one big score and just get out and enjoy his life, but he's worried, he'll die, he'll get caught.
Yeah.
He's not gonna have enough time. So like it's like that's a pretty good example of how I can explain it to you, I think.
No, okay. Oh, yeah,
Yeah,
dude.
man.
So, where you're trying to get at that now?
About your your dreams
Oh,
meaning
just
something. Like if you looked up, if you were always having a recurring dream about drowning, it would tell you like it's a fear of you not having enough time.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
I got you.
Or if you have a dream about, like I had a dream where like my mom was dying,
Okay.
and I looked it up what it meant because it was like a really messed up dream. It was like super out of nowhere, and it actually just meant that having a dream like that could mean you're officially over something, a bad habit, a bad
Okay.
like a bad time in your life. It could mean that you're like actually past it.
Yeah.
Mhm.
Now, have you ever had a real life fear, and then had a dream about that fear? Have you ever had that?
Oh yeah, sure, but mine's like it's not irrational, but it's like big spiders,
Oh, okay.
and I don't mean like super huge spiders.
Oh, I was
just
gonna
mean,
say
like,
that's scary.
just like a tarantula or something, or like a tarantula-sized black widow.
Oh God,
Like
dude,
crawling on
that's,
me.
that's scary. Actually, and
Mhm.
think about it, that's a real fear. Actually.
Yeah, and what really bothers me about it probably the most is that like spiders can just go under your door. They could be like in your ear, and like they could bite you in your ear. You'd be all fucked up. Like if you get bit in the ear by a fucking spider, I mean, what do you even do? You go to the
Oh,
hospital.
man.
What are they gonna do for you? I have no idea, man. That's why I'm scared of them.
You know what's funny? Tarantulas.
Mhm.
I don't know when their mating season. They're usually out.
Yeah,
They're out and about looking to pump and dump.
yeah.
But one time, it was us guys. We were talking about that. We were at work and we are sitting at a table, And there was just one girl that my old job, she sat with us, and there was just all of us and her, and we're just chilling, and they were talking about tarantulas. And this guy, his name is Pedro. He's all like, "Yeah," because he loves spider. He loves tarantulas. He's like, "Yeah,
Yeah.
bro." So around 8 p.m., they start crawling back because in mating season they're out. They're out, but at night, 8 p.m., they crawl back in their holes.
Mhm.
And I was all like, "Oh, so they got till 8 p.m. to nut." And I said it just like that, and I was like, "Oh, wait." And I looked, the girl's right there looking at me, and I'm like, my bad, bro, my bad. And she's
Yeah.
all like, she looks at me, it's like, it's okay, it's okay. I was like, God. But yeah, dude.
That's a slippery slope right there.
I
dude.
know, bro.
Especially when they just come in, like a female just comes in, like to a place where there's not any females there, and then you gotta change everything up. Like
I know, bro. That
it's tough.
sucks. Do better, ladies. But
Yeah.
no, you know, another scary, like for me, dreams, dude, scary dreams I've ever had were tornadoes.
Oh yeah.
Tornadoes, man. I remember one time, I'm in a dream leaving my small town, and as I'm driving, a tornado starts popping down,
Mhm.
and another one's popping down, and as I'm keep driving, it's just popping down, popping. Like it's just I'm going pop, going down, going down. I'm scared, dude. It was like see, those are dreams that scare me. You know, those are the type of dreams that like I'll wake up at 2 a.m. like, oh, it's a dream.
Yeah.
Or another one is how you're falling down, you're falling from a tower, and then you're literally flying, and then you wake up, you're like, oh man, that was just a dream.
So have
Man.
you ever? Let me tell you. Let me ask you something. Have you ever been in a dream like where you were about to die?
Yes, I have. Well, those would be one.
Yeah, but then did you wake up?
Yes, I did.
Okay, so people say that when you die in a dream, you wake up because your mind can't comprehend what comes after you die.
Really?
So all it can do is like just wake you up because it doesn't know what to do after that, after you die.
Oh wow.
Yeah.
That's scary, man.
It's kind of scary, yeah, but I mean, I don't know, like whenever I'm in like a bad dream, I know for sure like I like wake myself up like I do die. Yeah,
Yeah.
like I try to do anything to get out of it.
Yeah. Yeah, dude.
Wow.
Now have you had these sad dreams? You know what I'm saying? How does that go?
Sad dreams is crazy, man. The experiences I've had with sad dreams is pretty crazy because I've woke up like crying before.
Yeah.
And what's weird is every time I've woken up crying before, my tears were like hot.
Really?
Yeah, they were like really hot. Like I could feel them, how warm they were coming down my cheek. And like when you cry, I don't think I've never felt like warm tears or anything. But every time I'm waking up, yeah, they were like hot.
Hot.
It's crazy, yeah.
Yeah.
It's pretty weird.
No, there was a dream. Then my next show I will talk about this one, but like it was not about the dream. It's because there was a time machine. So my small town, there's a junior high in front of it, and a bus pulled up, and I was excited because this was real. I thought, and it was a bus, and what it was like, okay, this bus is gonna take you back in time to your teenage years. And I got excited because, like, sweet, now I can re-erase my 20s and I can start over and I can start, building and do what my brothers did instead of mess around, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Waste time. And I was like, this is my opportunity. I got excited. And then, so the thing opened and then, the bus, picture the bus as a regular bus, but instead of yellow, it was like baby blue. And it had a clock, had a big old clock in front of it. So, or on the side of it. And so as I stepped into it, because, I just stepped into it like, yes, I'm gonna start over. I'm excited, and then out of nowhere, my alarm went off, and then
nice,
I was
dude.
like, and then I just couldn't get in. I was like, no, please tell me this is not happening. And then the door shut, and then it drove off.
Damn.
And then I just watched it drive, and then I was like, no, and then my alarm went. I woke up. I was like, no, man, I was sad because I was like, yes, I can start over, but. And now it was just a dream. That whole day just ruined ruined my whole day. You know what I mean? That sucked.
Yeah.
That was the last ever sad dream I've ever had. You know what I mean? That one and another one. I know I had another dream. But this one was a more positive one. Actually, here's another one. Here's two of them. My dad passed away. Remember that? My dad passed away one day because I didn't get to see my dad before he passed. I didn't get to, and so I had a dream that I just dreams normal. This was like months after he passed. And I had a dream I was at my house, my mom's house right now. And then I went in there and Dad was there and he was telling me like, oh, I remember this, I used to do this here and I used to do that here. And then I was like I turned away like this, holding my tears, and I was gonna be like, Dad, I was gonna tell him, no, I turned this way and I was like, Dad, can I hug you? Or can I hug you? And then I turned around and he was gone. And then you just see like white feathers kind of like, flying this way. And I was like, dang it, I missed him. I said this too. I was like, I missed him, but I'll catch him again next time. And I said it just like that too. I woke up And then flash forward, I think it was like 2 weeks later. I walk into my mom's room. This is another dream. I walk into my mom's room, and my dad was like sitting on the couch. Well, this is a couch where he used to take naps on and all that. And then he was all like, "Hey, I don't have much time, mijo." He said that. I don't have much time, and I ran up to him and I hugged him, just like I wanted.
Wow, man.
And then I told him, I was like, "I love you, Dad." I just gave him a hug, and then that was it, man. I woke up, and then ever since then, I was like, I got my closure. You know what I mean? I got what I wanted. That was, and again, even though it was a dream, that did mean something to me. I don't know what kind of conspiracy that would be like.
No, not at all, man. That's I think you would be kind of surprised of how real that kind of thing is. Like,
Yeah.
my wife, I haven't had an experience like this yet, but my wife has many times where her dad passed away a while back already, and she had many dreams about him.
Oh, yeah,
But
yeah.
in her dreams about him, it wasn't just like, obviously she would miss him and like hug him and stuff, and it was kind of similar to your thing. But he would tell her things,
Oh, really?
and he would like give her messages, and it was about like things that were real, and it was about things that happened too,
Oh, really?
and like even warnings. Some of them,
Oh,
there's probably
wow.
been about 5 total, I believe. But your dream, and I'm sure a lot of people's dreams aren't really just dreams,
Yeah,
but
exactly.
they're your actual relatives visiting you in
Yeah.
a plane
Yeah,
of your consciousness that they can.
yeah. I don't believe it too. But let's move forward to now aliens. Noah, do you believe in aliens?
Yes, I do.
So, what do you believe when it comes to aliens? Do you believe they're just, you know, aliens, like just come to the earth and just kind of look, or do you believe in like, they're the creators? You know what I'm saying?
I can't really say they're the creators, but I mean, they're for sure older than we are. Their
Okay.
civilizations or wherever they come from are much older than how we are. From where we developed and everything. Because I mean, if you think about it, like I'll put this in perspective for you. When the Wright brothers did their first test flight,
Yeah.
it was only like 60 years later that they launched the spaceship into space.
Okay.
So like in just 60 years, you went from the first airplane
Okay.
to being in space. Like in just 60 years. So you think about what an entire different civilization could be doing. Thousands of years, millions of years if they managed to,
Yeah.
survive that long. But the evidence of our governments and like other governments knowing about aliens is crazy, man. There's people that come out all the time, and like credible people, not just like crazy people on the street, like credible people that have worked in their government, and they come and say it, but nobody just wants to listen, man. Nobody wants to believe that.
Lizard people.
See, lizard people, I have a hard time believing that. But apparently,
Yeah.
there is a race of aliens that is, they have blonde hair and blue eyes,
Yeah.
and a light complexion, and they've lived amongst us for like ever. They
Really?
look just like us, and they blend in perfect. And apparently, they've been here like
Forever.
just
No.
with us. We don't even know.
You ever heard of the Hollow Earth theory?
I love
Dude, that one-
theories like that.
That one threw me off. When I first heard it, my buddy
Mhm.
Pedro told me about it. I'm just so interested in it. I was like, what? Hollow Earth? It's a big old hole in the North Pole or South, whatever it is.
Mhm.
Yeah, dude. Can you tell me more about that? Do you know about? I don't know.
So
much
I
about
know
it.
this one story. There was these people. I don't remember what jungle they were in. They were in a jungle and they found like a cave, and they went into the cave and ended up finding it was like a hollowed out pocket that had its own little ecosystem in it, which is basically kind of like what we're talking about. But there was like trees and like trees that were like taller than some skyscrapers.
Yeah.
In this hollowed out piece of earth.
Yeah.
In this some cave they went into, but it just been undiscovered. But like if something like that can happen, imagine if there's like just something maybe a little deeper
Yeah.
with some kind of like heat with
Yeah.
it. I mean, as soon as you got heat like that, and then maybe some water somewhere close by, dude, that's like all it takes. But I mean, when you think of life, like what do you think of?
Just I think of anything moving.
But do you think
life.
like you think of like cells and stuff like that?
No,
Like
I
if you
don't
find
think-
cells and like bacteria and stuff like that, that is like life.
Life,
Like
too.
if they found some kind of like bacteria that was alive on the moon, that would be like alien life on the moon.
Wow. Okay.
When you go to find that inside the Earth, I mean, they just haven't found it yet.
Wow. Damn. I never thought about it. That's legit, actually.
Yeah, I mean that's kind of like that's the basis of what that's like as bare minimum as you can get of like life. you know?
Life. Yeah.
Yeah.
So is that what they said, or if you did your research, was there actually life on the moon?
On the moon?
Yeah, bacteria.
Not that I know, but there's funny enough, there's I saw like a couple weeks ago on Reddit, this dude was taking pictures of the moon with his own camera.
Yeah.
And I don't know how he did it, but he got it like so clear and defined and close up where he was like seeing all these structures and like secret moon bases.
Oh, that's
you know,
right. Yeah,
craters
I
and
have
stuff,
seen something
but-
like that. Yeah.
And so I kind of blew that off until I saw like NASA's pictures of the moon,
Mhm.
and then they were compared to that guy's pictures of the moon.
Yeah.
And it was like, how can NASA have these, like these crappy pictures of the moon, and this
Yeah.
guy is like looking at the surface from his backyard or whatever.
Yeah.
So I mean, I don't know
Do you know anything about Mars,
about Mars.
the red planet?
So about Mars,
Because I have something to say about that one.
for sure, I'll add this is what I've seen recently, that there was some kind of rover on Mars or some kind of probe or something, but they took pictures, and there was like pictures of like caves and like cave openings and all this stuff.
That's
and
true. Yeah. Or I
People
heard.
were like what are these
What are
these
they?
caves doing here? Like
Yeah.
what is that? How are you gonna explain that? And then there was like there was a long time ago, there was pictures of where they thought there was a statue coming out of the sand.
Yeah.
And it was a face, but
Oh, that one was bunked down. I think That
something
one
like
wasn't-
that. Yeah.
That one wasn't really real or something.
I don't remember what happened with that one. Yeah, but
You know what? The weird thing from what I read was like there's from what they said. This one seems weird, but like Earth used to be a civilized planet
Mhm.
until they had a war. I don't know what they had a war, and then now those aliens reside underneath the planet Mars.
Mhm.
So civilization is in Earth, and so that's the theory that they're saying, and that's why they're going back to those caves. They do find these caves and they see those holes, and they're like,
Mhm.
oh, maybe it's true. But the thing is, I just want to know where they got that from. You know what I mean?
Mhm.
That's kind of what weird. You know what I'm
Well, I
saying?
think they come up with that because of Earth is like the perfect distance from the sun for it to have life. Basically, like it's the perfect distance to not evaporate the ocean, and it's a perfect distance for not everything to freeze.
Mhm.
So, I think that Mars is just so close. It really is pretty close to the Earth, but it's just that humans can't accept that there's just nothing, no life that close to our planet. Like it's got to be. There was a nuclear war, an asteroid crashed into it and it killed all life until people, went underground and survived.
Mhm.
They just can't. People like us just can't accept it.
Yeah.
It's like there has to be something there.
Yeah.
We can't be alone
Yeah.
this close.
Well, I'm curious. I'm sure. I don't remember how many years they're going to go to Mars, from what I understand.
Mm-hmm.
I hope it's before I die. I want to see
Mhm.
the end of that. That'd be pretty cool. See if there's I don't know about life forms, but that'd be pretty cool.
I'm pretty sure you can just sign up
Yeah,
to
just
like
sign up
volunteer to go to Mars.
Dude, it takes like 7 months just to get there or something like that. It takes months just to
Mhm.
fly out there, just to get there, and then months to get back.
So real quick, I hate to kind of take us off track, but in this sense, like, what do you think about time travel?
So that's a tricky one actually. So there was a theory. This man from Russia got in a space pod,
Mhm.
and then he went over. He circled around circles like that. But before I get to that, hold on, Noah.
ahead.
We'll take a break real quick, man. We're gonna thank our sponsors, and then we'll get back to what we're talking about. Thank you. Okay, this video is sponsored by no one, because I don't have a sponsor. I have 0 sponsors, but I hope I get a sponsor one day. Ain't that right, Noah?
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
Okay. Anyways, we're back. What were we talking about now?
We were just going into. I was taking us off the track of we were talking about Mars, but I was asking you, what do you think about time travel?
So yeah, going back to that Russian guy, the Earth.
Mhm.
He went into a space pod and traveled for I think a year, just orbit the Earth.
Mhm.
And then when he came back, they said he looked much older. So, what would have happened if we went it backwards? But at the same time, that I mean, you've been there for months or a year or something. I mean, you have no interaction. You have no way to smile. I don't think. I'm pretty sure you would go crazy. You know what I'm saying?
Mhm.
You're just by yourself. I
The
don't know, but
isolation.
yeah, but I'm sure he had a different way. I don't know. Maybe he meditated out there. I have no clue. But there's that. But when it comes to time travel, I don't know. Part of me thinks it exists. You know what I mean? Because of the apparently they have video footages.
Mhm.
You know what I mean? But at the same time, they could also be Photoshop. You know what I
Mhm.
mean?
Yeah.
So I don't know, man. That's a good one. I want to say it's possible, and I want to say that we have, or somebody has invented it somehow,
Mhm.
but they're just keeping it under the wraps. You know what I'm saying?
Mhm.
But have you looked at those videos where like they actually have had like for example, there was a mummy that was mummified, but he actually had shoes on.
Hmm.
You ever seen that? Like there
Mm-mm.
was a mummy
I've
where
never seen that. That's crazy.
he was wrapped around, and when they discovered him, he had like shoes that were not like Jordans, but they were shoes. You know what I
Yeah.
mean? Like like something that you would see in the '60s, shoes like that. You know
Man,
what I mean?
that's crazy, man. No, I've never seen that.
Yeah. So I was like, what? You know what I mean? And then what was the other one? Obviously, I know you've seen the ones on YouTube or anything that has in the '50s, and then there was a modern guy that has
Yeah,
a shirt
that stands out.
and there was a lot of those. You know what I
Yeah.
mean? But could they be Photoshop? Who knows? But I do believe in somewhat of a time travel. You know what I mean?
Mhm.
I do. And if it existed, that'd be nice. I can go back and be like, hey, don't do that. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Do you believe in it or what?
So I believe in it, but the way I kind of believe it in a boring way.
Oh, yeah?
It's kind of like, have you ever seen Interstellar,
No.
the movie?
No.
Okay, so in that movie, it's not time travel, but it's a guy who's in space.
Uh-huh.
He has to leave Earth to like find a new planet
Yeah.
that people can live on because Earth is dying.
Okay.
And so, well, he goes away for so far and just for so long that it's called the theory of like relativity.
Yeah.
So, let's say if you fly in a spaceship like at the speed of light for like 20 years, you're gone for 20 years at the speed of light. By the time you come back to Earth, it could have been like 40,000 years have passed.
Yeah.
At like 20 years. So if you were gone for like 40 years, it would be like, I think it was like 60,000 years.
Wow. Okay.
It would have been passed. So like if you think about it like that, that's like time travel, you know.
Yeah.
But I mean, that's not to say what you would come back to would be Earth. You know, it could all be gone.
Yeah.
It could be better. You know, the people could have been gone.
Yeah.
They might have found a way to leave, but that's kind of the way I believe in time travel. I just can't see someone smart enough to make a machine.
Yeah.
Like that.
So yeah, that makes sense.
Mm-hmm.
That's crazy though. I don't know, man. I do believe in it. I just not. I don't know. Yes and no. Because again, these conspiracy theories can be true, but then you know what I'm saying. I don't know.
Mm-hmm.
I couldn't give you an answer though. But
I know. What you
I
mean.
believe it exists. I believe you can. Because but if it's possible, how, you know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
But I do believe like in the future. Let's say we go to different planets and discover different diamonds and
Mhm.
different resources that how we have our gasoline and oil and all that
Mhm.
stuff. But maybe in the future we discover something different that fuels some form of technology that can actually take us back
Mhm.
in time. You know what I'm saying? I think that would be interesting. Obviously, I'm pretty sure governments would be involved, and if you see all these movies, you'll have to have a time control. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
I think that would exist, but who knows if it's true, and if it exists, hey, cool. let me borrow it.
Yeah. No
You
kidding,
know
man.
what I'm saying? Oh man, but we'll see. I don't know.
See, and I'm like the kind of person that could not be trusted
No.
with time travel, dude. I'm way too greedy and I'm way too selfish
man,
to have some kind of power like that.
Bro, what would you do? I know you
Oh,
would do
man,
something.
lottery, anything that has to do with money. I mean,
Forgot about that.
awesome stuff that's gonna
Oh, my
happen.
gosh, man.
You bet I'll be there.
Yeah. So, let's see. In 2001. Oh, wait, when were you born?
Oh, gee, really, 2099, man. Come on, have some respect.
Oh, man.
90s baby.
In
love the
2006, you're gonna get no. Okay, when you turn 18,
Mhm.
you're gonna go get your lottery number and be like, okay, it was predicted I'm gonna win, so I'm gonna get this. So these are the numbers that's gonna win, so I'm gonna get it. Go back in time and
Mhm.
bam.
Okay, so here I'll give you an even I'll give you like the least evil example I could do. Like, let's say they give me the power and they're like, if you use this to like win the lottery or something, like we're gonna kill you. We're gonna kill you and your whole family for winning the
Oh,
lottery. So
okay.
I'll be like, okay, I'll go back to this time, and it wasn't too long ago. I'll go back to this time where Rihanna was at Cadillac Ranch
Oh, I remember that.
in
Yeah.
Amarillo, and she posted it on
Yeah, I
like
remember that.
Instagram or something.
Yeah,
Like, what the fuck?
yeah.
Like,
So
I would be there that night waiting. That's what I would do.
it's
I would
dope.
wait for Rihanna at Cadillac Ranch.
With the rose and everything.
Mm-hmm. That's like the least evil thing I could do with time travel. I promise. That's it.
Oh man, dude, that's funny.
Yeah.
Nah, time travel is kind of whack though, or cool though. I mean, shoot, go back in time and see how it was back then. Whoa, so
Mhm.
I wasn't allowed to do this. Oh, this is what I did. Whoa, you know what I mean?
Mhm.
These are my ancestors. You know, if I can go back in time, I do want to see how like the Great Wall of China was built. I do want to see how the pyramids were built. If I like could, you know what I'm saying?
Mhm.
I'd love to, like the mysteries that are never solved. I want to know.
Like Wonders of the World.
Yeah, like I
Mhm.
want to know how this person disappeared. You know what I'm saying?
Mhm.
You know, like all these things are like, what happened? If
Mhm.
I had that time travel just to see what happened, I'd be like, oh, that's what happened. You know what I mean?
And I share that same love for like yearning for answers, but that's
Yeah,
what
yeah,
really like brings me into the conspiracy theories. That's
yeah,
what gets me uh like every time. That's just what gets me, man,
yeah,
for sure.
yeah. It'd be like whatever happened to, you know what I'm saying? And then you have that time, you know what I'm saying? And then you
Mhm.
see what happened. It's like, oh, so I don't know, he or she's either still alive but living the life over here, or
Or
has,
like celebrities that have like faked their death,
yeah,
or
something like that.
like
But
who killed JFK.
yeah, you know what I'm saying? Just what happened. Yeah,
Hmm.
if I could, that'd be wild if I could. I don't know. Now that you think about it, it's like,
Hmm.
man.
And I'm Catholic, and I'm religious. And one thing I hope, dude, is when I die, I really hope I can get some answers to like some of my
Yeah,
questions. And
yeah,
I don't have
exactly.
answers like why do we exist, or
Yeah,
like what is love. I don't,
yeah,
I don't give a fuck about
yeah,
that.
yeah, yeah.
I want to know who
What?
killed JFK.
Yeah.
You know, I want to
I
know.
was thinking that. I was thinking maybe when we die, before we go anywhere else, I was hoping we have the power to see what we get to see
Yeah,
before we go on to the next life.
yeah.
That would be nice. I would love to see. Okay, so what happened this day?
Hmm.
How did I die? Oh, you know, I don't know. Something that'd be cool if that's a possibility. But everyone, I don't know. It's weird, dude. Everyone, you know, whenever it comes to death, Noah, have you what stories have you heard that have death experiences, but then they came back to life?
So there's a couple people that I know that have like legally died. You know,
Mm-hmm.
like their heart stopped, they coded out.
Mm-hmm.
One guy had claimed that he had went to hell,
Okay, yeah, I
and
heard
he
those.
had like saw Hitler and like other notable people that he wasn't gonna name, but
Mm-hmm.
they were like in cages being tortured and
Yeah,
killed over and over again. He said he saw that, and then like he just saw like all this crazy stuff like in hell,
yeah.
and then he had went to heaven, and after that, and they had kind of like told him to spread like the message to like
Yes. Okay, so
kind of
there's a
like
lot of
give
that.
awareness
Yeah, I've heard a lot of
people
that.
like that.
You know what I mean?
But it's not that I'm not interested in that, but things like that don't really grab my attention because if you're legally dead, your heart stopped. But if you still have brain activity, which he clearly did,
Mm-hmm.
then how is that not just in your own mind? You know,
Yeah.
that could be in your own mind. It might not be your soul actually experiencing these things and taking it back with you
Yeah.
when you're revived. But what really gets my attention is people that have been like reincarnated.
Uh-huh.
You know anything about like people being reincarnated?
So like you die and then what, you turn into a bug or just another human?
Sort of, yeah. That's kind of like what first thing that comes to mind, right?
Yeah.
But like, it's kind of like people die, and then it's really only happens in kids.
Yeah.
That they say they've lived past lives,
Oh, I heard about
or
that.
they remember how they died, or they just remember like being another person
Yeah.
and having a different life. And one of these kids, I think probably one of the most notable ones, was a kid who was claiming that he had died in one of the twin towers,
Oh, okay.
but he didn't die in the twin towers. He was claiming to be a guy who jumped out, and he said when he jumped out that science says all those people that jumped from like that were trapped from where the planes had hit, they died before they hit the ground.
Uh-huh.
That they were already dead, unconscious,
Yeah.
like, just dead. And he said when he jumped out, he remembers seeing his body falling. He was watching his
wow.
body falling, and then he watched it hit the ground,
Wow.
and kind of whatever else happened after that. He
Wow.
says he remembers seeing that, and then the kid just like saying all this stuff that like how could he know? He's just a kid,
Yeah.
So I mean stuff like that is
That's
it's crazy to think about.
that is crazy to think about, man. Yeah, the heaven and hell. I've heard stories where they're you know what you're saying, they're mentally dead or their body's dead but their brain's still going.
Mhm.
They say that they're flying up in the air. Like
Yeah.
their spirits seeing the stars and the
Mhm.
spaces,
Mhm.
and then they wake up and they're like, oh, I'm still alive. And then another one, what was the other one I heard? Obviously, same thing. Heaven, hell. You know what I mean? What was it? I think that's it, man. I mean, I'm trying to remember. There was another one similar. Man, I can't remember. I can't remember. I think I had it on my tip of my tongue. It was like it was similar to what I was going at. Oh no. So there was one where this girl had died. She died in a car. She claimed she died in a car wreck, but she survived, and she said that um she could have swore she saw herself like at her funeral. She saw herself. She was dead, but she didn't. I don't know how to put it. Like it's as if there was two timelines that went at the same time. One she stayed alive, and the other one she actually died. And then from then on, she like remembers somehow she saw this all of like her funeral and her parents crying, but it didn't happen, even though I guess it was supposed to. So that's kind of one of those that like, you know what I mean? So you were supposed to die, but you were given a second chance. You saw yourself die, but yet you this time loop didn't. You know what I mean? I thought that was interesting. I mean that.
So you know what that reminds me of? That's reminding me of when it's like you've had deja vu.
Oh yeah,
Everybody's had deja vu.
Okay, I might know.
So
where you're
then
going.
you probably do. So people think that deja vu is you like connecting with yourself in another dimension.
Exactly. Yep.
Of that you've already done that. You have done that before,
Yeah.
but in a different dimension, and you're like connecting it somehow. Your brain connects with your other self.
Yeah.
And different dimensions is something I'm like all in on. Like 110%, I'm all in on different dimensions.
Yeah. So what was one where someone was telling me that David, are in your dreams where you're like, okay, you did something, and then you wake up and you kind of remember it, but then you don't, and then when it actually happens, you're like, deja vu. You know what I mean? And so that's but from what from the guy had said, he said that somebody right now is monitoring you, and they messed up, and they're like, "Whoops, I shouldn't have done that." Oh, he's gonna see that later, and then whenever it happens, it happened. Deja vu. That's kind of what.
That's a definitely interesting thought right there.
Yeah, so basically, like, we're being probed by aliens, and we're asleep like that right now, and aliens are doing their little thing. Oh, I messed up, and then it actually happens. You know what I mean? That's something that made me think a little bit. I was like, I wonder if that's what's going on, but no, well, I don't know. That's just a theory that they're saying. You know what I mean?
Well, I have a cool story that I've heard before about it's kind of hard to explain. There's basically was a deal from a long time ago, sometime in the 50s, where aliens made a deal with our government, with the president, to be able to abduct and probe a certain amount of people in exchange for certain technologies.
Wow.
Yeah, and so I hate to say so many times too, but I'm just trying to like kind of think of a way to put it that doesn't sound super silly, but yeah, that's one story I've heard before, and kind of believe it too, because it's kind of like right after the 50s where all this kind of new technology starts coming out, but then there's always a way to explain it, who invented it, this and that, but
it makes you think. You're like, did that happen, or did we get it from somewhere else? You know what I mean? Like, what was it? Is it true that did we build the pyramids, or did that actually happen, or did extraterrestrial came in and built that? But I don't know. That's kind of weird, to be honest. In my opinion,
stop provoking.
Yeah, but it just makes you think: did that happen? Did it not happen? The Great Wall of China. Who built it? Was it really the humans, or was it something outside? Those statues, and I don't know what country. Those like human, big old head human statues.
The what do you call it? It's like Easter. It's on Easter Island.
Yeah,
I forget what they call the heads. Yeah, I know what you're talking.
Somebody
about.
comment on that, please, on the comment section. Thank you.
What the heads are called?
but I'm trying to remember. It was like, but they're saying that how did that get there? You know what I mean? It's impossible to build or something. But I mean, in true reality, it's possible that those were already there, and they just because back then, what's the art, statue sculpting and all that was that was there, back then. Sculpting, getting a hammer and getting and just, that was there already. You know what I mean? Right. That was already, people already known how to do that.
Yeah.
So it just makes sense that those stones were there. They just kind of,
right,
made those figures. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
That's what I truly believe. Now let's go to the Egyptians inside those hieroglyphs. You know what I'm saying? they're saying, oh, this is to me, they're stories. They're to me, I think they're just stories that oh, this is a story, or it's just pictures or carvings of what just art. You know how
Mhm.
we have museums? I'm thinking it's kind of like that.
Right.
But then they're saying, oh, well, what is this? This represents this. This could have been aliens. You know what I mean?
Mhm.
Stuff like that just makes you think. You know
Well,
what I mean?
apparently there really is like hieroglyphs of like aliens and
Yeah.
spaceships.
Yeah.
There are, yeah, like that's just fact, but they just don't know what to like make of it.
Yeah.
They can't. They just leave it alone. You know, they don't want to make a big deal out of it.
Yeah. So it just makes you think what is it? What was it there? If it's true that there were kind of aliens, okay, what were they? I don't know. They were enslaved and
Yeah.
all kinds of stuff. Here's a theory is the theory that happened. This I don't know. This if you're a religious person, this was something you would want to believe. You know what I mean?
Mhm.
Apparently back then, before time, before all that, apparently we had magical powers. You know what I mean?
Mhm,
So
yeah.
I don't know if you see anime. You ever see those guys with swords that fly and all that stuff, the dragons and
Yeah, I think yeah. Sure.
all these like your swords can glow in the fire. Well, not fire, but like
Yeah.
all have powers. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Put your hand out and just magical stuff comes out, like real magic. Now,
Mhm.
not just that medieval times with their dragons and their fantasy worlds that apparently all that existed. You know what I mean?
Mhm.
Apparently all that was true. And then the high power, which would be God, would be like, okay, this is enough. I don't want this no more. I'm tired of this. So he wiped them all out and left the caveman. And then that's kind of when we started our Earth history. This is when the cavemen started coming out, or he left them alive, and that's when civilization started going from there.
Mhm.
That's a theory that someone had brought up, but would somewhat make sense. But again, it's just a theory, and especially if you're a religious person, that would make sense, I guess. But that's a theory. It's just a theory, you know what I mean? But who knows? What do you believe in?
Well,
The Big Bang?
I can't say it's not a theory. Well, I'm actually gonna go back a little bit before we before we go into that. But real quick, like in the Bible, it says that people used to live a lot longer than we do.
Oh, that's true. Yeah.
You know, like
800.
there were certain people, yeah, that could live like 800 years. Some people died when they were like 200 years
Yeah,
old,
that's right.
300 years old. Like, I mean, I just don't know how you could explain that.
Uh-huh.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like that's like it's not just because they ate better than we did or anything. You know, I
Yeah.
mean, it's the stuff we eat is garbage, but I mean that's you don't just live to 80 or 90 just
Yeah.
because you had bad food. You know?
Yeah.
It's,
If you think about it, we didn't have technology, we didn't have pollution,
Mhm.
so it makes sense how we lived longer. To me, it makes sense how do I put it? Everything was pure back then.
Well,
so
yeah,
it
but
makes sense in my opinion.
I'm saying though that even though they didn't have the trashy stuff we have now,
Yeah.
that I think it was God that was keeping them alive.
Oh yeah.
I don't think it was just because they ate better than we did or
Yeah.
anything special. I mean, they didn't have medicine.
That's true.
You know, I mean, I don't know how many different diseases they had or if it's still things we have now. You know, there's already diseases that are extinct now, but
Yeah.
I think it was like a higher power
Yeah.
that would keep them
Yeah,
alive that long.
and I do believe in a higher power. I just kind of don't know why people don't. I mean,
Nah.
kind of weird to me, but it's all good. Were you gonna say something? You said, "Oh, I want to go back."
Oh yeah,
Let's
back
go.
to the Big Bang thing, dude. About the universe, like it's so weird that I have so many different opinions and like I'm super into all this stuff
Mhm.
that I just have zero opinions or original thoughts about how the universe was created. Like I can't even fathom like it actually being created by a Big Bang or there was nothing and then all of a sudden there was everything. Like,
Yeah.
I just have I can't say a real opinion that I have.
Yeah, and it's true. You could. The people really believe in that though. They
Mhm.
believe in the Big Bang theory, the evolution. We were fishes.
Mhm.
I'm just like, okay, you know what I mean? The Bible talks about like what do you call it? Demons and angels and stuff like that. What makes me think though is that like you have evidence of demonic entities. You know what I
Mhm.
mean? You actually have real evidence, so
Yeah.
it kind of makes you think if there's a presence of a hell, there has to be a heaven. You know what I mean?
Mhm.
So that's kind of one of those things where it's like, but that one has more evidence. People would kind of deny it. Have you ever met like atheists, like true atheists? Then whenever you tell them something about, like, not necessarily trying to preach to them, just tell them facts, they kind of blow it off. Not
Mhm.
all atheists, obviously, but like the ones I've ever came across that were not
Mhm.
religious, I'd be like, yeah, bro, demonic stuff. And even though some of these videos you find on the internet are fake, but you can this kind of makes sense. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Witchcraft and all that actually real. It if it's in the Bible and stuff. I mean, to be honest, if that if the things you see here on Earth are real, and that the Bible had said would be real, there has to be some form of high power. Does that make sense? You know what I
Yeah.
mean? There has to be a God. You know what I mean? So
Mhm.
it just makes you think. That stuff makes you think a lot. So like for example, fallen angels. You ever heard of those? You ever heard of those? And giants. You know what I mean? And actual bones of giant feet.
Yeah.
I didn't know that was a thing. I didn't know giants existed. And then the theory was
In the
that like
Bible, it talks about giants.
yeah, and so and then you have them on the earth. You know, like I actually saw like, well, I didn't see a person, but like human, but I saw like bones of a human, but the size of this apartment. You know what I
So,
mean?
so there's somebody I used to work with.
Yeah.
I doubt he'll watch this podcast, but he knows who he is. I've talked to him about the giant bones. Like, fuck you, man. Brian just said that giants were real. So,
Oh yeah,
suck
yeah.
it easy.
That's what I'm saying. They were talking about how they existed, and I'm just like I didn't know that. I didn't know it was like 5 years ago that I just found out, and I was like, really? They had are like what do you call them? Those guys, archaeologists that dig them up, and they were like humans,
Yeah.
but giants.
Yeah.
And I'm like, they exist. So you know what I'm saying? So if you go back to the Bible and they talked about it, it makes you think.
Mhm.
They talk about fallen angels and stuff. Like I didn't know anything about that, but that just trips me out. You know what I mean?
Yeah, like
so
Satan is a fallen angel.
yeah,
Like
and
the
so
first angel to be cast out.
yeah, so it makes you think. Like you know what I'm saying? Like these theories and all this stuff, it just makes you think. You know what I mean? It just trips me out.
So I don't know if you've ever heard about this. You would like this since you like that so much. I bet you would really enjoy this. That there's a lot of it's not really a conspiracy theory, but there's a lot of people that think mountains are like petrified giants. They think that some mountains are like giants that lay down and died.
Really?
Mhm.
Like so, these giant mountains are straight up people. Is that
Oh
what
no,
you're
yeah, like there were people, and now it's just like been covered in different kind of things. When anybody else will tell you that a mountain is created, when there's like two plates
Mhm.
of the earth that crash into each other and keep going and keep going. So that makes a mountain. But
Yeah.
there's certain mountains that look like people laying down, and it might be, like that's a coincidence, but I mean it occurs quite a bit of times naturally in nature that there's these huge mountains that look
Yeah.
like people,
Wow.
and they.
Never thought of that one. I didn't know. I never heard of that one.
I'll show you
Giants.
real quick. I'll try not to.
Whatever you show me,
YouTube.
whatever you show me, I can put it on here, dude.
Oh, okay, really?
So just show me here, and then I'll have it on the. I'll edit it out and put it on here.
Okay, cool, man.
So for those that are watching, if you do want to bring photos or videos, but they can't be copyright. They have to be videos. They have to be your personal videos. You know what I mean? And then photos, they can be anything. But you can let me know.
Okay. So what do you like? You look at that and like, what do you see?
Okay. So what I'm looking at, it looks like I mean, I can see the head, and I see the body. So to me, it looks like a guy laying down.
Yeah.
It does look like one though. A giant laying down.
Yeah.
In my-
So like that one's like a really obvious, like really good. Like you look at it and you can even like see some kind of like detail in the face.
Yeah.
So, I mean, it's like things like this that provoke people
To believe that
Yeah.
these are giants used to be mountains.
And if you're not if there's so many giants, there's not that many bones, then where are they all at?
Mhm.
But then, what if you looked there?
yeah, the mountains.
What would you find?
That's crazy. I never thought of that.
It's just a crazy thought.
I've
right?
never heard of that. I've never heard that kind of theory. That's interesting. See, yeah, okay. Just by looking at it like that, it does look like he's dabbing while he's dead. But nah, it does make you think. Yeah, Alex.
Right.
Yeah, I never thought about it. Now I might look at. Now I'm gonna start looking at mountains, and I'm
Yeah.
like, oh well. But yeah, so I wonder how does that tie in with the actual real giants? You know what I mean? So that must have been giants from distant past,
Mhm.
and then you got your giants or fallen angel giants. I don't know, but yeah, that makes me think a lot. That's pretty cool. I appreciate you showing me that. Man.
Yeah, no, sure thing, man.
Yeah, man, that's crazy.
Because I'm all about like all this kind of stuff. Like you'll never run out of time to talk with me about stuff like this.
Conspiracy
Yeah,
theories.
all kinds of stuff.
There was another one. I'm trying to remember what it was because I wanted to bring this up with you. That was another conspiracy theory, and I'm gonna have to remember it here in a minute.
That's right. Well, one of my favorite ones is I think it's kind of, I can't say it's not like well known, but I don't think it's very popular with people. It's called the Bible Code.
Oh, okay.
Have you ever heard of it?
No. Well, I've heard of it, just don't know about it.
So the Bible Code is like it happened a long time ago where these kids were playing somewhere near the Red Sea, and they were throwing rocks into a cave
Mhm.
and heard pottery breaking.
Okay.
So they went in there and they found scrolls They were really old scrolls, and they went to go sell them
Yeah.
at a market, and nobody wanted to buy them. Nobody wanted to buy them until there was one guy who recognized the writing as like ancient Hebrew,
Oh, okay.
and bought it and like gave it to somebody else, sold it to somebody else that could do something with it, and then eventually they recognized it as like pieces of the Torah,
Mhm.
which is like the Hebrew Bible.
Okay.
And so they go into it, and it's a long, long time ago. Like this is man, I don't remember what year it was, but just old enough to have record of it. You know what I mean? Of this guy finding it and stuff.
Yeah.
Well, he is reading like 4 letters at a time. He'll read 4 letters at a time, and then he'll skip like 40 other letters,
Okay.
and then start reading 4 other letters,
Okay.
and then skip 40, and they call it a skip code.
Yeah.
Well, he does that, and he finds something about when the moon, like the birth of the moon, and he finds out what the lunar month is, how long it is.
Yeah.
So he finds out how long it is, what it says the lunar month is.
Yeah.
And then I think they said it was like 7 centuries later, which is like, I think like 700 years later.
Yeah.
I don't know if that's centuries, 100, I don't remember. But yeah, they say NASA is going to do it. They send a probe
Mhm.
around the moon to find the lunar month, find out what it is. And well, it's like less than a second off of
Okay.
what this guy got from like reading the code in the book.
Yeah.
So he thinks it predicts it. So other people go into it, and when the other people go into it, they start looking up like famous rabbis.
Okay.
They make a list of like 30 famous rabbis, and they find them in there.
Okay. Oh, wow.
And so they're publishing it, and then they get these math statistic people, like expert math statistic people,
Mhm.
to look at it, and they can't find anything wrong with it, like with what they're doing. Like they're saying it's mathematically correct.
Mhm.
And so this other guy, he's a investigative journalist. His name was Michael Drosnin.
Yeah.
And he's doing an interview at the Israeli intelligence
Okay.
like headquarters. And when he's leaving, there's some person that works there that grabs him and tells him, you should talk to this guy because he found a code in the Bible that predicted the start of the Gulf War,
Really?
like on the day. Yeah. So he predicts all this stuff on the day, and he's predicting all kinds of crazy things that he's finding in the code in the Bible.
Yeah.
And they predict, I think it was an Israeli prime minister that he would be assassinated.
Yeah.
And he did. He was assassinated. And it was they made all kinds of predictions when the world would end. Like they just found all kinds of things encoded
Yeah.
in the Bible, but there's just too many skeptics, and there's just too many like times it was wrong.
Yeah.
And apparently all of his skeptics proved him wrong
Mhm.
by finding all these different predictions and codes and real things in other books.
Yeah.
And it's just too bad, man. Like it goes a lot deeper than what I'm kind of just scratching the surface, but
Yeah.
that's like one of my favorite ones right there. It's just super crazy to think that, our futures and like the end of the world could be encoded in the Bible.
Yeah.
It's just crazy to think, man.
So I got two more questions about these theories. Dinosaurs. What do you believe in that?
Dinosaurs are real, and it's hard. They say it's so hard to find like certain dinosaur bones because of like they were hollow.
Yeah.
And it's super hard for hollow bones to be, I don't know if it's fossilized.
Yeah.
It's super hard for them to be fossilized because they're hollow. So
Yeah.
it's difficult. And they say that, they say like dinosaurs like kind of, or like chickens are like descendant from dinosaurs.
That
Stuff like that.
yeah.
Well, I mean, they make pictures of the T-Rex. They make pictures of like velociraptors, but
Yeah.
they don't know what they would have looked like.
Yeah, that's true.
And I've seen a really good example. They somebody pulled out bones from something,
Yeah.
and they made it in some weird creature, and then like animated like scales and skin
Yeah,
and stuff.
yeah.
But it was actually like it was just some modern day animal or something.
Yeah.
Like it wasn't all crazy like that. So they're like,
Yeah,
you're doing all this, it might be a little much.
yeah, that's true, man. Oh man, I don't know. I don't know about the dinosaurs. And then it's just weird how they find out how many years ago. They're like 2 million years. I was like, what?
So I think that has to do with carbon dating. And
Yeah.
I'm not sure how they carbon date. I don't know how, but I mean,
I guess
it can be accurate.
I guess that just makes me think like how does that work? You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
Well, no, my last question, though, uh, ghosts. What are your beliefs in ghosts?
Ghosts are real, man.
Yeah, they're real. I know
Ghosts
they
are
are.
definitely real. And they might not be like the way, it's commercialized for movies and things. They might not be like, kind of like how you think in a bed sheet, with
Yeah.
the eyes cut out. So not like that, but yeah, man, ghosts are real, and I think they're just like there's really people with, how would you say, kind of unfinished business.
So you do believe in that?
Oh yeah.
Yeah, because I know guys that believe in, a good religious, going to religious part. It's like, okay, you either die and you go to heaven or hell. That's it. And then there's these type of people that's like you can go to heaven, hell, or there's or unfinished business or something here. You know what I mean? So I just kind of like, okay, which one is it? You know what I'm saying? Why is that person? And apparently some ghosts are very friendly or they're good ghosts. You know what I'm saying? Some ghosts are bad ghosts. Maybe those are demons. I had a friend that told me that he can feel spirits, and he would tell me that it's either a ghost or it's just a ghost or it's an actual demon. He says he could feel that, which I mean, I guess you know what I mean.
Yeah, some people are sensitive for sure.
Yeah. So it just makes me think like, okay, so what about it? So what do you think? You think they're real? You think those are just people that died and they have unfinished business? That's truly what you think?
So it can be that. That's one thing for sure. But another thing is also people that die really traumatic deaths.
Mhm.
If you die really traumatic death, there's a chance that you're. It's sad to say, but there's a chance that like your soul can become trapped
Yeah. Oh, wow.
here
Uh-huh.
on Earth, like in our plane.
Yeah.
hmm So like if you were, I don't know, kind of like savagely beat to death,
Yeah.
by a bunch of people jump you and they kill you,
Yeah.
that's a really traumatic death. You could be, your soul could end up trapped.
Yeah.
Or it couldn't.
Yeah. I wonder the soul. I'm pretty sure it doesn't have feeling. So I wonder what the soul can do. You know what I mean?
Well, your soul, for sure, I'll tell you right now, your soul is kind of like you. Like why you like making podcasts,
Yeah.
or why you like that shirt,
Yeah.
that it's kind of your soul that has to do with that. So I wouldn't know if you would feel anything. I'm sure you could have like some kind of like emotion.
Yeah.
I'm sure your soul could be sad or happy
Yeah.
in whatever plane it is in, but
Who knows? You know what I mean? That just makes you think. Again, another theory is like, what is it? You know what I mean?
yeah.
Is it you? Is it someone else? Is it is it really unfinished business? Or is it just, it just makes you think a little bit. And especially when people say, oh, I saw something there. You know what I mean?
Mhm.
Oh, somebody was there. Dude. Have you ever actually had like an experience though? Like,
I've-
dude, I saw a ghost, bro. You have? I'm pretty sure you have.
I've only had one, man.
Have you?
I had one, but the one I had was like solid concrete, like never forget it. And I was at a Halloween party.
Yeah.
And it's funny because the dude that was throwing the Halloween party, it was at his mom's house.
Yeah.
And his mom was gonna be out of town. It was only like 3 years ago. It's not like a junior high kind of thing.
Yeah.
But the mom said no. And we had done it there the year before too. She said no, that she didn't want us to do the party. And she said to him that she's had bad energy in her house and that she hears things, that there's been things happening, and that she doesn't want all the crazy Halloween decorations around the house.
Yeah.
Because we would do it, or he would do it like big, scary stuff,
Okay.
blood,
Yeah.
like things like that. And I was sitting on a couch with my wife. She was passed out.
Yeah.
Like when she wasn't passed out, she was sleeping it off on a couch, and there was a beer pong table. So I'm just stuck on the couch watching TV. Excuse me, watching TV, and there was a beer pong table in front of me, and the cups are all scattered around. Well, in the middle of watching TV, I thought I saw something, so I just looked at the table, and the cup was moving. There was a cup on the table,
Yeah.
just sliding, sliding and sliding, and I'm like, okay, I didn't drink.
Yeah.
I maybe had like 1 or 2 beers. I didn't drink because I'm taking us home, and she got to have all out, go for it.
Mhm.
And so I know I'm in the right state of mind,
Yeah.
and that really happened, man. And it was something in the house trying to tell me that it was there. Like
Yeah.
it might not have been friendly, or it might have been friendly, but it wanted me to know,
Yeah.
or wanted us to know that it was there.
Yeah.
And I was just the only person to catch it.
That's crazy. I know I've seen one. Well, I'm not talking about. I'm not going to talk about the ones on you see on the social media. The ones that I've not experienced, but like There was one story where I used to work. It was a overnight stalker,
Mhm.
and I would stalk those shows. And they had told me that on this side of town over
Mhm.
there, they said that there used to be a lake there, and they had told me that before it dried up, there was a little girl that died out there. They
Mhm.
said that she drowned and stuff. So I was okay.
That's a
And
traumatic
then
death.
a few future, like now they built that, since that lake dried up,
Mhm.
they built they built the what do you call it? They built a store there, a grocery store there.
Mhm.
You know what I mean? So they had told me that, yeah, bro, like not too far from here she died or something like that.
Mhm.
Anyway,
Aisle 3.
yeah, exactly. So, I'm stalking, right? So
Mhm.
we had the people and we had a stock. We had to
Mhm.
stock the shelves at night.
Yeah.
The store was closed, so we
Mhm.
had to, fill up the counters and all that stuff. And I remember just stocking, just putting, the cans here and more cans, and somebody would be watching me. And
Mhm.
I look, and it's my team lead. He's just making sure I'm doing my job.
Right.
And then, I just do it again, and or like, another day I do it again and someone's watching me, and it's like, oh, it's him again. And then flash forward a couple days later, I'm stalking like normal, and someone's watching me, and I was like, oh, okay. But in my corner of my eye, it wasn't my team lead. It was a little girl with the
Mhm.
white dress, with the hair black, just straight down to her. You know what I'm saying? And I'm
Mhm.
like, I turned, nothing was there. I was like, is somebody just watching me? And then just went my day like normal.
Yeah.
And then like a couple weeks later, because it just only happened twice. I'm working, just putting stock in my shelves, and again, someone's watching me, and I'm like, and I could see that corner of my eye. I was like, someone's there. I look, she wasn't there no more, and I was like, that is weird, dude. And I never had that again.
So real quick, what time do you think that happened at?
Oh, this was at 2 in the morning.
At 2 in the morning.
Yeah,
So
2.
check this out. I'll tell you this. I'll tell you a couple things. One, there is something that has to do with water
Uh huh.
and spirits.
Okay.
When there's water nearby, and like there's some place like let's say there is a lake and there's
Uh-huh.
like a haunted house next door, the water gives spirits like that some energy
Uh-huh.
to where they can like manifest themselves. That's when you hear like the knocking,
Yeah, yeah.
stuff like that. That gives them power to do that.
Wow.
So to think that there was a lake there, that there was water there,
Mhm.
and she died a traumatic death, like I for sure believe that. And for what they say also is that I'll tell you this is the other thing that the time when it is 3 in the morning,
Mhm.
that is when the plane, like the spirit plane and
Mhm.
our plane Earth, are the closest together
Okay.
to where you like could like actually see something. Something can happen at 3 in the morning. Like if something's gonna happen, it's gonna like it will happen at that
Yeah.
time. That's why if you ever seen scary movies, it's like 3:14 in the morning,
that's right.
whatever. There was the one movie I think like The Conjuring. Every time he wakes up, it's like 3:14 in the morning, and that's
Mhm.
when the guy had like become possessed and killed his whole family, whatever,
God
stuff
dang.
like that. That's why they say that. So if you saw it at 2 in the morning, your plane is already getting closest
Mhm.
to
Okay.
that plane.
That makes sense.
Mhm.
Yeah, yeah. There was another one, dude, and I don't know why it just slipped out of my mind. I had another story. It was actually scarier, but yeah, that was one of them where it was like, what in the world did that just happen? You know what I mean? But there was another. There was one more I wanted to tell you, and I forgot what it was. It was, man, I
So
can't remember,
so
dude.
for sure, kids are way more sensitive. Like it doesn't have to be like how your friend said he was sensitive,
Mhm.
like he can feel spirits. So
Yeah.
that's one thing to be sensitive like that. But apparently, when you're a child,
Mhm.
like all kids are sensitive to
Yeah.
that kind of thing.
That's true.
Like
Yeah.
they all are. And then as you grow up, you forget about it.
Yeah.
There's no more, monsters in the closet,
Yeah.
monsters under your bed. But and then you get that one person like your
Yeah.
buddy who stays sensitive. So I mean, it's just kind of crazy to think what you might have experienced as a kid, and your parents are like, "Stop,
Yeah.
that's
Yeah.
that's not a ghost. Ghosts aren't real."
I remember that story. I was gonna tell you, but there was another one where they were saying like, "Yeah, my daughter has an imaginary friend, and she goes to the
Ah.
wall and talks to him." And I was like, she was like, "Yeah, my daughter's weird." And then it made me think. I was like, "Your daughter talks to the wall? Yeah, it's her imaginary friend. She says that she comes out every now and then." I was like, "Dude, I'm going. I'm gone." you
Yeah,
know?
yeah.
No, but let me go back to the story I was telling you.
Go for it.
Now,
Man.
this one, not too scary, but there. Okay, this is in my old town,
Mhm.
and my old high school. At night, I don't know why at night, but at night, the coaches was let us they would let us borrow the keys so we can work out.
Mhm.
So we would work out around like 7 p.m. all the way till 11 at night. The
Damn.
coaches, they would let us use the gym. It's a small town, so they
Mhm.
would use the
Oh,
for
sure, yeah.
basketball or just
Yeah.
weightlifting, and they would let us. And so I remember it was me and someone else, and it was like at 8 p.m., 9 p.m. Nobody was at the gym. It was just the it's just so, like, for example, you walk inside the school, but like you just walk and it takes you straight to the gym. Like as you open the door and there's a hallway, and if you keep going, it's the big old, the basketball court and all that. But before that, there's a door to your left, and that's where the gym is, and it's a small gym, so you work out there. But what was scary, and people that grew up with, like, people that went to that school knows this. They're like, if you go at night, dude, and you're by yourself.
Yeah.
So back in high school, dude, they would separate us in the guys' athletics.
Yeah.
We would, half of us would be in the weight room lifting, and then the other half would be running bleachers. We'd
Yeah.
run, and you can hear them when we're lifting because the weight room is under the bleachers, so you can hear people running down. You could
Yeah.
hear people, oh, we're doing bleachers today as we're lifting. You know what I mean? And then rotate. You know what I mean? Then we're on the bleachers now. I remember it, and this was multiple times. I'd go and I lift, by myself. I'm lifting, and I can hear somebody running in the bleachers,
Yeah.
and I'm like, that's weird. You know what I'm saying? Like, I'm over here lifting, and I hear, and I'm like, what in the world? So I just, like, I go, I look, it's dark, but
Yeah.
there's nobody there, and I'm like, that's weird. Now and then you can hear, like, it's a basketball court, so you can hear basketball. You can hear someone hitting the basketball, but there's no basketball. So you can hear somebody playing basketball, but it's dark. There's nobody out there. It's a little weird. So, and the thing that made me scared was like, bro, it's creepy at night. But
Yeah.
it wasn't just me. Everybody that goes there around that time,
Yeah.
or when the gym's empty in general, you can hear, the basketball dripping, or you can
Yeah.
hear someone on the bleachers, but there's nobody there. It's just you and someone else. But for those of y'all that went to that high school, y'all know what I'm talking about, man.
So this is
Golly.
just real quick. I don't know how we're doing on time.
We're almost
but,
good. We're about to wrap up.
Okay, so real quick, I'll tell you two things. They're both pretty quick. One of them is that when people think of spirits and stuff and ghosts, and they hear, like, they say, if you come in, like how you're saying, if you come in at night, you can hear the basketball. You'll hear a woman scream. There's a lot of things that are just called echoes.
Uh-huh.
They're just things that were like there was some kind of energy. Like you say the basketball was dripping, maybe, or dribbling,
Yeah.
dripping. That maybe it was like the last few seconds of a crazy game, and everybody was there. The whole town's there. They're cheering. The energy between all the people is really good. It's really there.
Yeah.
And then it's just like an echo from back then to
Oh,
now.
wow.
That it's not necessarily a ghost, but it's
Yeah.
an echo of the energy
Wow.
of all the people there, or that one person there. Maybe the kid was dribbling and then he missed the shot, or he made the shot. Something like that. It can be like that, or like with deaths too. Like when
Yeah.
you hear a woman scream, there's a woman in a white dress. It could just be an echo
Yeah.
from that time period. And
Uh-huh.
the other thing that I'm gonna say is pretty quick, that at the Hereford High School, I don't know if they still talk about it, but there was a haunted locker.
Really?
Yeah,
Wow.
right next to the gym, and I don't know the whole story behind it. I'm sure there's a lot of people that do. I guess it belonged to a kid, and he died somehow, and then that was his locker. Well, then it would slam all the time,
Wow.
and they said it would just, like, for no reason at all, like they could just hear locker slamming, and then, like, they would go check and that one was open, or someone would see it slam.
Wow.
Well, that locker, and this was my knowledge back then. I don't know if it's still the same now.
Yeah.
But it's the only locker that's welded shut in the Hereford High School.
Really?
So I don't know if you've ever seen a welded shut locker before,
No,
but
I
that
never
one
have.
is.
Someone needs to show me that. I don't know.
It's a welded
was
locker.
this before you kind of got there, or was it
Oh, this is
after?
like way before, yeah.
Really?
And this has just been passed down, from every grade. You get to a certain grade, and they're like, why is this locker welded closed when
I
all
wanna
these other
see,
lockers don't even
dude.
get used? Yeah, it's welded because it would apparently slam.
I want to see that locker now. So take me to that school. Be like, I'm gonna
Take
live
you.
in that.
We're gonna
wanna
have to
see
call
that.
first. I don't think we can just show up. We'll have to
I
call
want
and
to
say,
I want to see
we
that
wanna
locker.
see the haunted
This is a
locker.
high school or middle school? What?
It's in the high school,
I want to see that locker, dude. That's scary.
and the high school is old. It's very.
Oh,
old.
is it old?
Yeah,
Oh, I
it's
didn't-
old,
I
and
haven't
it's
been
not
there.
as old as the Stanton, which is the school that's across the street behind the cafeteria. But
Yeah.
yeah, it's an old building.
Wow, dude.
Yeah.
So the same school. It's also old too, but
Mhm.
yeah, that's crazy, man. Anyways, so Noah, yeah, man. I'm gonna wrap it up here, man.
That sounds pretty
So,
good.
you got anyone to shout out, man?
For
Look at that camera. I'm pointing.
sure, all the dudes that if they watch this and they know where we used to work, or where I used to work, and where Brian now works, I'll shout out to those guys
The
right too.
ethanol plant he's talking about.
And fuck, well, I mean, half of them are gone, but I mean, fuck the other half of you, I guess. Fuck y'all.
Ladies and gentlemen, this is Noah. Noah, thank you for coming on, man.
Right
Come
on,
on
dude.
next time, man. I really had a good
Awesome.
time with you. Yeah, bring your wife next time if you want, man.
For sure.
Anyways, this concludes our podcast. Thank you all so much, and y'all have a good day.
Right on, man.
Thank you.